What is up guys, how's it going? In this video I'll be comparing the LG's Optimus L5 to the Optimus P935, also known as Optimus LTE device here in Canada. Now, they both were released a while ago. The Optimus L5 was released in June of 2012, while the Optimus LTE was released in November of 2011. Now both weigh in. The Optimus L5 weighs in 125 grams, while the Optimus LTE weighs in at 136. Not much of a difference, just 11 grams. I can barely feel it, so I don't think it's something to be worried about, or the weight is, trust me, it isn't much at all. In terms of thickness, I'd say they're pretty much the same. Otherwise, you guys can be the judge and say which one's more thicker, but they're almost pretty much the same in terms of thickness. The screen on the Optimus LTE is a True HD IPS LCD screen, so it's very bright, very vivid, while the screen on the Optimus L5 is just a regular capacitive touchscreen. However, the resolution is 320 by 480 pixels, while on the Optimus LTE it's 720 by 1080p pixels, which is a lot in terms of resolution. The screen size over here is 4 inches, and on the Optimus LTE is 4.5 inches. So the pixels per inch on the L5 is 114, while on the LTE is 326, which is actually a lot. So that can actually give you the difference on how the screen is going to look. The screen looks more sharp, more vivid. Colors look more, I would say, more crisp on the Optimus LTE, while colors are bright, a lot bright on the Optimus L5, but they're not as sharp, they're not as crisp. They do tend to get washed out sometimes. I won't say often, but sometimes the colors, yes, they do look washed out a bit. But overall, for reading and browsing, it's pretty much good. No problems at all. Both have an SD card slot, so if you want to expand memory, you can go ahead and do that. The Optimus LTE has 2 gigabytes of internal memory, and an 8 gigabyte SD card comes included if you buy a brand new one, while the Optimus L5 has 4 gigabytes of internal memory, but do keep in mind that only 2.5 is available, due to the fact that 1.5 is used for system apps and other stuff. Now this over here is an LTE device, so it's very fast, blazing fast, while the Optimus L5 is just an HSDPA device. So over here you can expect speeds of 75 megabytes per second, because LTE is the fastest connection right now available. So while on the Optimus L5 you can expect maximum speeds of 7 megabytes per second. Now Bluetooth, NFC and Wi-Fi is available on the Optimus L5, but on the P935 you only have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. You don't have NFC. For some reason LG has chosen not to add NFC in this device. And there's no front-facing camera when we talk about the camera on the Optimus L5, so for those of you who want to do Skype, you might have a hard time. You can use the back camera, obviously, and you can do regular Skype calls or any other app that requires the camera. You can use the back camera for that, while the Optimus P935 has a front-facing camera, which comes in at 1.3 megapixels, which is normally what front-facing cameras support, while the back camera on both of them, the Optimus LTE has an 8 megapixel back camera. It records video as well, 1080p video, matter of fact, and it has autofocus and an LED light, while the Optimus L5 has a 5 megapixel camera which records video as well. It shoots VGA video at 30 frames per second. It has autofocus and LED included as well. So that's that in terms of the camera quality. Now when we look at the software, this is where the L5 really stands out. The L5 is running Android 4.0 Ice Cream Sandwich, So let's go ahead and to the settings of both devices, and let's go into About Phone to check the software. As you can see over here, it's Android 4.0.3, while over here it's still on Gingerbread. So some people might be upset due to the fact that Gingerbread is one of the oldest versions of Android, but the Optimus P935 actually has a planned upgrade to Ice Cream Sandwich, so hopefully that would be hitting the phones soon. Well, the Optimus L5 is on Ice Cream Sandwich already, and there is not a planned upgrade I've heard of as of yet. So that's that in terms of the software aspect of the phones. Now let's talk about the CPU. On the Optimus L5, the CPU is a Qualcomm Snapdragon CPU. It's clocked in at 800 megahertz. It's a Cortex A5 processor. While on the P935, it's a Qualcomm NDM9200. It's dual core, it's clocked in at 1.5 gigahertz, it's a Scorpion. So that should give you the idea, guys, that the Optimus P935 is going to be definitely faster in terms of playing games and doing other kind of heavy stuff on your phone, because it has a faster processor and a better one as well. Now the Optimus P935 comes in black, while the L5 comes in black and white as well. If you're someone who likes to have white phones, you're going to appreciate that. Now let's talk about the price point of both phones. Now the Optimus L5 really stands out in terms of price. It retails at less than $200, which is, I would say, absolutely amazing. $200 off contract is something that you should definitely consider if you don't mind having Ice Cream Sandwich and a small screen. But it definitely is a fast phone. It doesn't lag anyway. It is a little slow in doing things, but reading stuff and surfing the web, watching videos, playing games, it has been a breeze on the Optimus L5. While the Optimus P935 is good in terms of pricing as well. You can get it for around $300 to $400 for a retail price off contract, which is good as well. Both can be gotten on contract for $0 as well. So that's that in terms of pricing. And let's talk about the battery, which is the last point I have. The battery on the L5 is a 1500 milliamp hour battery. It lasts pretty well, I think around 12 to 14 hours. It does a good job with quite a bit of usage, while the P935 has a 1830 milliamp hour battery, which is a lot more than the L5, and it lasts a tiny bit more. So that's pretty much it, guys. Just writing out the review now. If you like the review, do give this video a thumbs up. This helps me a lot. If you have any questions, do feel free to follow me on Twitter or Google+, or simply just leave it in the comment section below. And do subscribe, guys, as that helps me even more. And thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.